both the same, exactly the same. Jesus calls St. Matthew from where he's accepting the taxes on behalf of the Roman government. And Jesus calls the Good Samaritan. How can we say he calls the Good Samaritan? Because he places in his way a man who had been attacked, robbed, and left injured on the roadside. 3 people were called by that man, not by the man himself, but by God who put him there. The first, a Levite, a devout and holy man who kept all the laws of God as far as he was able. God called him to come to the side of that man who was injured. But no, he looked at him and went away. He was right to go away in one sense, because if he had gone and actually helped the man, he would have rendered himself, according to Jewish law, ritually unclean for 40 days. He would not have been able to carry on with his synagogue duties. So off he went, ignoring the call of God, which was actually more important than his own cleanliness. Then the second one who was called was a priest, a rabbi, I suppose. He saw the man. He went over and looked and thought, oh dear, dear, dear. If I go and touch him and help him, I also will be unable to perform any of my sacred duties. So he left him. Those 2 were called, but didn't respond to the call. Then the third man, a Samaritan. That's like in this country saying a Paki, with all the scorn that goes with that word. A Samaritan, hated by the Jews, seen by the Jews as being little more than a dog. He saw the call of God there, lying injured and destitute, and he actually heard the call of God through this needy human being. So he not only went over to him, but he bound up his wounds, he treated him, he cleansed him, bound up his wounds, and more than that, took him to somewhere where he could be cared for, to an inn. It didn't even stop there. This Samaritan's compassion went even further. He gave money to the innkeeper. And he went even further. When I come back, if he's cost you more, I will pay. Then St. Matthew, at the seat of custom, was simply spoken to by Jesus, who said, "Follow me." And he got up and followed him, leaving everything behind. We are called in so many different ways, either by the voice of Jesus, the quiet voice of Jesus, will call us and we respond, one way or another. We either respond with, "No, I can't be bothered," or we actually respond and we follow him. Also, we are called in the same way as the Good Samaritan was called. seeing the need of someone else. St. Paul says it is more blessed to give than to receive. What on earth does he mean by that?